Hello everybody, welcome back. Taking a look every week at the news and info the developers are sharing with us is a quite important process that helps us understand how this magnificent project is being made, but also allow us to follow the development and of course realize how close we are to our ultimate goal, which right now is the release of the 3.0 update. Next month, June, is going to be very important for Star Citizen, despite the fact that the release date for the 3.0 patch was pushed back a couple of weeks and it is now expected at around July 6th to July 20th. And this is because the PTU releases are planned for June, so if nothing changes, if everything goes according to plan, we will have by the end of June 3.0 on our hands and we will know very well how amazing I hope it will be. So let's go ahead and talk about the latest news regarding the development of Star Citizen. These are mostly news that Brian Chambers shared with us in the latest Around the Verse and have to do with improvements on the planetary tech, improvements on the planets and moons of the persistent universe, improvements again on the AI, which is going to be a very important feature not only for the success of the 3.0 update, but for the success of Star Citizen as a whole. And finally, some talks about the Delta patcher, the much anticipated incremental patcher that will change our life for the better. Let's start with what I think is not only more important, but also more spectacular to talk about, which is of course the planetary tech and the improvements on the planetary tech. As we have discussed already many times about the planets and the moons of Star Citizen, we know that the goal of the developers is to create unique celestial objects, unique looking planets, unique looking moons that will have their own distinct personality, their own distinct look and feeling. In order to help in this process, the developers have added some new features to the planetary tech, and now the overall amount of materials that could be used on the terrain has increased significantly. This means that now new materials are being created for the moons primarily to make the surfaces even more diverse from one another. And this is something that will be quite visible in the persistent universe when we will get access to the 3.0 patch. We know that the three moons that we will get around Crusader in the persistent universe were very different one from each other. One is hot, one is frozen with very low temperatures, and the other is tries to be an harmonic blend between the two. Now with these new features and the addition of new materials, the difference is going to be even greater. It will be very easy to recognize a place and tell if it is on Yela, on Selene or Delamar. And this feature of course is going to expand for all the planets of Star Citizen, creating a unique experience no matter where you are. The plan is after all to create planets, moons and general locations that will have their own unique characteristics, looks and feelings and create a unique experience for all of us every time. The improvements on the planetary tech don't stop here, and to be more precise, the developers had to add a night sky to the moons that we will get with the 3.0 update. This is an excellent opportunity for us to realize how the whole development process is working and how a single feature can alter the game, can alter the whole universe and force the developers to take action and change something, add something like the night sky that they have never thought before. What I'm talking about has to do with the lighting system that we have discussed a couple of videos ago, and to be more precise, the developers, in order to create a realistic and very good lighting system, they have created one sun at each solar system that will light the entire system and be the main source of light. This of course created the problem that the sides of the moons that don't face the sun will be very dark, and it will be impossible for the players to not only play, navigate, but even walk around. In order to deal with this problem, they have added another layer of atmospheric glow and radiance, and glow brightens the atmosphere, gives a nice gradient that shows the shape of the horizon, but also gives depth in front of the player, while radiance gives base level of brightness, and the player can see himself faintly, but also the surface around him, making easier to navigate. In that way, the moons of Crusader are even better right now, they are looking even better right now, and I have to say that night exploration looks very intriguing and creates many opportunities for us. Nonetheless, this is a little problem that was created by another feature, and of course the solution that the developers came up with is an excellent example of how the development process of Star Citizen is going and how easily something can break the whole universe. It is a great way to understand the challenges that CIG is facing when creating this amazing game. Work of course continues on Delamar and Levski, two very important locations for the 3.0 patch that will allow us to test properly all the upcoming features and of course help the developers deal with any problem that will arise. The terrain of Delamar is getting polished up and both the assets and rocks are all being finalized. The area around Levski is being populated with larger mining structures, bigger than before, and in general the whole area, the whole exterior of Levski is finally taking shape and is looking quite nice, an excellent starting point for our exploration endeavors on the surface of Delamar. There is also an optimization path that will reduce the memory consumption and make the assets be a lot more efficient. In general, Delamar and Levski are taking shape nicely and they are quickly becoming ready for the 3.0 update. One of the greatest news from the latest Around the Verse was the talks about the incremental patcher, this very important patcher that has now moved into an internal phase of QA testing. And that means that we're getting even closer at getting this very important patcher, hopefully with the 3.0 update and beyond, that will make our life a lot easier. What this patcher, this incremental patcher, does actually is that will allow us to download only changes and new additions for every patch, every new patch from now on. So we will not have to download the entire client every time there is a new patch. It is a very welcome change that will make the life of all of us easier, and especially the life of players, of backers that don't have a very good connection. We also have improvements on the AI, and the focus this time is on human combat in order to improve combat in general, focus on shooting functionalities such as accuracy, better accuracy of the NPC and avoiding friendly fire. These are features that have to be implemented correctly in order to have a proper living and realistic universe in Star Citizen, and of course the initial reaction to non-friendly. I can only imagine how much better combat against AI, against NPC will become with these changes, and how much scarier will be to enter a derelict ship with NPC pirates inside it, and maybe some fog we have seen from the previous updates. AI will not only be improved for ground combat, but also for ship combat as well, and the ship AI, the goal for the ship AI is to fully switch to the consumption-based AI for all the ships. Something I would really like to mention briefly has to do with the AI modules. The AI module is the tech that can be attached to any ship, to any turret aboard any vessel, and operated like an NPC or another player. This is creating many opportunities for players that want to be a bit more solo than others. It might be possible for a solo player to acquire these AI modules and set them on a turret, set them on a certain position aboard his vessel, and go out like this without NPC crew or without other players with him. Of course, this will depend on how effective these AI modules will be and how helpful will be in case of an emergency. Nonetheless, it creates opportunities, it creates many different ways that the players can go out in the verse, explore and enjoy this magnificent universe. And I really can't wait to test these AI modules. I really want to see how effective they will be. This is everything I want to share with you today. I would love to hear your opinion about the improvements on the planetary tech and of course the addition of the night sky to the moons of Crusader, but also what you think about the AI modules. Are they going to be really effective? Are they going to be really good to have around? Will you dare go outside in the verse without any other player or NPC with you, just with some AI modules? I would really love to hear your opinion and thoughts about this very Quite interesting new tech, this quite interesting item that we will eventually get in the persistent universe. Thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I am SquidofLove and I will see you around the verse. Bye bye.